once again. 4, 3, 2, 1, the party it can't done at the center. The center. At the center. The center, 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 center. The center. The center. The center, 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 center. Woo! Oh, shucks! Come on! Baby, you say I can't go out with you. No, 'cause when we dance, I just take off my shoes. But one thing I can tell you tonight, and this is so true. We, the only jam you can smell is when I jamming on you. Oh, at the center, the center, at the center, the center, 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 the center, at the center, the center, 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 center. Yes. Baby, you know I can't live without you. No, but don't be so slow, 'cause it's time to go, and you acting like you stuck in glue. One thing I don't want to do is stand in no line. No, time is of the essence, girl, and I like to whine. Oh, at the center, the center, the center, the center, 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 the center, at the center, the center, center, center. Let's go. You coming? You better come on. Yes. Watch this. Come on. Jam it. Fången om de joker nu. It's 4 o'clock a.m. and I want jam some more. We, but I look for you to dance a few, and you but sleep on the floor. So I grab any girl, I don't care what the size. Oh, 'cause I'll jam her all night. I love the exercise. Oh, at the center, the center, at the center, the center, 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 the center, at the center. Pass the word. Heard about the new style yet? The beat make you jump and sweat. 10 cents, 5 cents, set. Think about the dollar spin spent. Heard about the new style yet? Come and place your bet. This kind of rhythm comes once in a while. Rock make rhythm with a different kind of style. Just stop, toss it, and flash me a smile. Kiss that roll and I want the whole mile. Heard about the new style yet? The beat make you jump and sweat. Give me the mic, I rock it all bet. Collect long dollars in jet. You heard about the new style yet? I may never pay my debt.
1,000 words or more. She could say ma, she could say pa, but she couldn't say R. She would say wabbit, she would say cow, she would say woof and what? A what? There's a what in the woof, and he's one and wound and wound. A what in the woof, and he won't come down. There's a what in the woof, and he's right on me. Mummy, mummy, daddy, daddy, one come see. Shiny, fanny, wanny, laid in the bed. It was kinda cold, she had the cover overhead. Then she heard a scratch, then she heard a scratch, then she heard a splickety splash. So she got up and she looked around. She ain't see a soul. Then she heard the sound. There's a wife in the wolf, and he's wanted wound and wound. A wife in the wolf, and he won't come down. There's a wife in the wolf, and he's right on me. Mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, one come see. Shiny Fanny ran, Shiny Fanny screamed, straight to a mommy's room, woke daddy from a dream. Baseball bat in hand, into her room he sneaked, thinking he'd find one teeth. He looked out the window, he looked all around, he ain't see a soul. Then he heard the sound. There's a white in the wolf, he was really getting down. A white in the wolf, he was playing a funky sound. There's a white in the wolf, and he's right on me. Buy a putty cat, put him in the wolf, so that terrible white would be so weak. He frightened me.
Slimongus, you are to blame. Slimongus, don't know your name. Mongoose went to Miss Kelly's store. Take up one of she big red banana, throw it down in him jaw Montana. Slimongus, Slimongus, don't know your name. Slimongus, you are to blame. Mongoose sit down on telegraph wire. Mongoose drivers get a fire. Policeman called to the Black Mariah. Slimongus, hi! Mongo, Matty Mongo.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahamaland to the foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and in full effect. It's a beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. Always happy to jam with you the way that we're doing here on the Foundation. I am Howard Grant, your host, to be able to jam with you. Your host with the most. Can we do that? I feel like a Ghostbuster thing that we got to be able to do. It's a Friday, guys. BIM. Warm and easy select. Kind of overcast in the city. I don't know wherever you are being able to watch this and kind of tune in. It's overcast in the city. It was a hell of a lot of rain last night. But I'm grateful for the fact that we're still here. The ground is saturated right now in the city of Nassau, and I know that Pinewood people, I know you're having issues. My God, I know you're having issues. I didn't drive to Pinewood this morning, but I know that you're having issues. And we hope for resolution for you, man. I know that we've been in this kind of a position where we've been talking for a long time about this sort of an idea for resolve and transformation in that constituency, more specifically, to be able to find out how we're going to be able to mitigate, how we're going to be able to fix this issue. And I think administration after administration kind of touches on it, and we see nothing. We see nothing significant. Mama them then tell me the house was flooded out 15 times. The lady called the show one time, and she says my house had been flooded out 15 times. 15 times. And, these things lead from one thing to another, man. You could find yourself with respiratory issues and all sorts of stuff as a result of this, Talk to me. Let's just be very clear. You could find yourself with respiratory issues. You could find yourself with so much stuff because that mold and mildew, that moisture that's trapped between those walls and stuff like that. Issues, man. Real issues. So we're hoping that some administration, we're hoping that some idea, we're hoping that. And I just saw about maybe 3 to 6 houses deep down in the water. Now, the foundation is raised significantly, right? The foundation for these homes were raised significantly, but these homes were deep down in the water from a picture that I saw in Pinewood the other day. Man, we got to do something about this area. We got to do something about that. And really be able to find a way to be able to fix this. There are thousands and thousands of people that live in this area that suffer from this. And so we're hoping for the absolute best. And we're looking for not just this sort of a platitude, but an actual resolve to make these things happen, right? Guys, grateful to be in your company. Like I said to you, it's a beautiful day. And we're live. So if you want to give me a call, you can do that. Yesterday we wasn't live. I gotta apologize to you for yesterday. It's not my fault. It's my producer. No, I just kid. See, look at you laughing at me. No, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not none of our faults. He had booked something to be able to do something before we actually set this up, and so he had to kind of make a quick dash, which was cool. I didn't have a problem with it. But we set up to do a live last night, and we didn't. It was unforeseen issues or turbulent. Let's put it like that. We did not know. He didn't know. I didn't know. If we'd known, we would have been able to kind of navigate around that and fix up stuff. But he didn't know. I didn't know because we had done this before. We did this before, but not on the double stream because you could pick me up on Facebook. You could pick me up on YouTube. The information's right above us, right? But he didn't know, I didn't know, and this is where we are right now. Somebody's calling into the show. Let's see if we can be able to take this telephone call. Caller, you're on live with us. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. What's happening? It's Graham.
That's excellent. It's Graham.
What's up, Graham?
Man, glad to see the transition. You look so much more professional
Graham, stop it,
than you did in the other places. You look like CNN, man.
Graham, I appreciate you. What's happening, man? You gotta come sit with me.
You know, what I'd like to see, right, is nobody else will do what you can do now. They can't do it because they're controlled by the two greater forces. Now, I got to watch what I say, but, I could say a little bit further than I could have said
before. We on the internet, Graham. You can do this. Go ahead.
I would love to see in that studio, how many seats we got in the House Assembly? 42?
Yeah. No, 39 now. 39 plus
38?
Yeah.
I don't know. They keep changing it, so you gotta guess, I guess. I would like to see in that studio and get yourself 2 Cabbage Patch dolls.
Cabbage Patch dolls.
And put one in a red shirt and one in a yellow shirt.
Really?
Yeah, because see, when you have every constituency invited in writing so that we could see you send a letter to them, expose it, and you pick an, let's say St. Anne's, and you invite the COI, the FNM, and the PLP. And I come in the studio, and the yellow and red come in the studio, and you grill them from a middle-aged perspective. And you could bring in the studio maybe someone 20-some years old, and they could grill them from a Gen Z perspective. And you ask the questions that you can never ask on those other places, and see if they can handle it. See what the vision is. See what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, and how they're going to do it. Ask them that in everything from education to healthcare to, affordable housing, etc. And the people who don't show up, you put their little Cabbage Patch doll in the chair in the appropriate color T-shirt.
As a representative that they supposed to be here.
Yeah. You got the seat there for them.
Cabbage Patch.
And their representative is there, and he's muzzled.
Yeah.
But he's in his right color T-shirt. And I tell you, those 40, that 38, or however many days you got, that would be the biggest in the nation's history. But you publicize it, and we push it, and let the people know about it. And when that touches down, my brother, could you imagine 38 days with just 2 Cabbage Patch dolls and the COI representative showing up?
No, well, I guarantee you, some fellas can show up.
Well, they gotta show up. What do you
I know
mean?
some fellas can show up.
They got to show up.
From the
And
FNM
you
and the
better have
PLP. If I
the
call
right
them, they
grill.
coming.
Have the barbecue ready,
If I call them, they coming. So some fellas can show up. I saw we could. I like the idea, Graham, in terms of being able to put some things to them. No holds bar. No holds bar.
Yeah, because
I think
it'll
we
never
got that.
happen anywhere else, eh?
No, I mean you have to have these kind of you walk a thin rope in certain areas. You walk a thin line, and so you have to be able to watch your steps, because they got their they got their clients, they got their relationships, they got so much things. And
That's
I was naive. I thought I had autonomy and strength in this and that and all these particular things. But then life comes knocking. Hey, listen, you shouldn't do this. And so I'm grateful for this space, and I think we're going to do that. Now you got to come down here and sit beside me. Talk to me. You see, I had Anton yesterday.
Well, I have to. I mean, what can I? They're kind of not inviting me to the other realms anymore.
Well, come sit with me next
They don't
week.
want the truth, and they don't want to take calls. Some of them.
Come sit with me next week. God's Spare Life.
But you get in touch with me. But hey,
I got your
you're
number.
looking great. Now we gotta publicize this.
All right, well, let everybody know, Graham. I appreciate you, my
And
brother.
promote it.
Thank
I
you,
will
man.
share it. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your telephone
Have a
call.
good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's none other than Graham Weatherford being able to give us a call. It's amazing, man. These guys giving me a call and being able to talk to me from all over. Now, Sparky called me at least I got 3 voice notes from Sparky. One, he cussed me all the way out. Not, you could get a partial cuss out, right? Like I just say, just like a little bit of cuss out. Sparky cussed me all the way out and tell me I stop being a fool, right? I listened to the voice note, right? And I had Sparky block from, now not because me and him have an issue, right? But because my children has used my phone, right? And so they pick up my wife's phone and their mother's phone and just start doing whatever. And Sparky just sends some little raunchy things sometimes. I thought this thing was on vibrate. Sparky sends some little raunchy things sometimes. And so as a result of that, we find ourselves in this kind of a position where I had him blocked just for a time being. But I got to unblock him so he can get a call. Let's see if we can take this telephone call. Call on the line with us live. You are on with us here on the Foundation. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Howard Grant. Good afternoon, Bahamas.
Good
Everyone
afternoon.
watching the live.
How you doing?
How are you?
Fantastic. How you
Pretty
doing?
good. Awesome. Enjoyed the show yesterday.
Thank you very much.
The pre-recorded show. Yes. I think I had sent or tried to send a text message in. You left us on a cliffhanger. Almost like those movies and TV shows where, it's like a sequel.
With Anton?
But at this point,
Yeah,
yes,
Anton.
yesterday I think you left on the note where you were saying all of the prime ministers have called. Some of them were were good. Some of them,
So you called today to figure out the next half of this. What happened now? What happened?
I don't need to figure out what's understood doesn't need to be explained.
Praise
That's
God.
good.
Praise God.
What I called to say, yes, what I called to say, I guess, following Graham's call was that we need to have debates, man. I feel like these politicians and our representatives, they running from a debate. They speed up their gum on TV and do all these coffee show and these rallies and everything, but they don't want to come and have a debate with their competitors or even take questions and answer the hard questions. Take questions from the people that vote them in. We need debates.
Do you think a debate will make a difference?
21st.
Do you think it'll make a difference?
It's gonna make, but we gotta start somewhere. I
ask you because
I don't think it's gonna make a difference though, because we are still in that era mindset. I think us young people have to be the ones to change it in terms of the outcome of the elections. But as far as some of the other generations, and that's not, I'm just speaking generally, that's not everybody. I don't want to generalize everybody, but a lot of people just stuck on color. We know this already. So they can listen to what the people have to say. Some ain't gonna listen, and they can still go and vote for. The people can tell you they ain't gonna fix this in a different way or beat around the bush, and they still can vote for who they want to vote for. So
I like your call. I like your call very much. I do appreciate you calling in.
Thank you. You have a great show.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Listen, I want to talk very clearly about this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of the call, part of the show, you can be able to do that. You can see the numbers right here, 827-0111. You can send me a text or you can give me a call. Or up here, you could be able to get me on YouTube. You can get me on Facebook. And you can check me out on www.thefoundation242.com. You can just click on that and it'll take you right to where we are. But there was a debate that was held some time ago at the University of the Bahamas. I think Dr. Chris Curry was involved with this particular debate. I can't remember exactly the institute. Maybe it was the University of the Bahamas that actually structured this and invited all these particular persons. Do you remember? So we had the FNM, the PLB, the Coalition of Independence, and I think the DNA, because it's a little bit murky in my mind now. It happened a few years back. But I was in the audience, and I remember that there was a level of theatrics associated with it. I didn't want to be involved. There was a level of theatrics associated with this sort of an idea of being able to bring prompts out and all these things like that, rather than being able to understand, identify the social issues, and be impassioned and prepared to be able to execute accordingly. So I don't know whether or not a debate will work. I think I saw most recently, I don't know if it was a Guyana or if it was in Jamaica, but it was the first debate held in this particular thing, and all it was mudslinging. It was crazy. All it was mudslinging. I can look for the clip and drop the clip here so you can be able to see it. All it was mudslinging. I couldn't believe it, and I thought about it. Our people have been conditioned to a position where you accept this idea that you're grassroots. You've been conditioned. You have been relentlessly spoken to. It's already been able to nestle itself in your subconscious. You expect to be treated as, not because in your conscious state you've identified that you're grassroots, but in your subconscious state, your dreams, they show you, because of this acceptance of people calling you, well, the grassroots, and that represents more than 70% of our population. More than 70% of our population can identify itself within this particular, this realm of grassroots. And if you accept this concept and idea that grassroots, there are some implications associated with that. There's no demand from the grassroots. And I don't know whether or not this is one of the reasons why governments, and I'm not talking about this current administration, I'm talking about successive administrations over the past 52 years, have not worked successfully or significantly on the idea of eroding this concept and idea of grassroots and developing the middle class. Now, out of the United States of America, out of any first world country, out of any developed country, we always hear this notion and idea that comes to us and says that the small business and middle class are the engines that fuel society. Now, we could put that theoretically, we could be able to put that into context and make you to understand the passion and determination to be able to find yourself at the top tier status is always giving you that kinetic energy, that drive in this position as middle class to keep trying. And so as middle class citizens, we have a determination to continue to keep trying. Right? There's an idea, whether it's a get rich quick scheme on one side where persons are just trying to be able to find themselves out of this quagmire, or on the other side of the spectrum, whether it is a steady, consistent concept and idea that you keep developing over the years that you believe that this will be the thing. The middle class is the energy, the engine, the gasoline that actually fuels society. But in this country, there has not been, for the most part, there has not been focus, emphasis on the development of that middle class. More specifically in Grand Bahama, you know that Grand Bahama is sort of a quasi-government. This administration has rejected that concept, but we've lived with this concept that there has been almost a government unto itself in the city of Freeport, which was the Port Authority for generations, for a generation, let's put it like that. And even in the midst of what was happening in Grand Bahama, where there was bustling, where things was happening, when they were calling Grand Bahama the Magic City, after Hurricane Francis and Jane, it seems as though the Port Authority, for the most part, and simultaneously the government, has left Grand Bahama to its own devices, has left it in this kind of a space where, all right, every man for himself, God for us all. Almost the entire Bahamia, someone call me and tell me the truth. Almost the entire Bahamia is eroded. The opulence, because it was opulence. Grand Bahama was clean. When you drive down the highways, when you identify, especially in the city of Freeport, there was always this kind of a green, clean, pristine feel. This idea that the environment belonged to us. There was a level of pride that existed in this particular place. But when you got no money, you can't maintain nothing, and you ain't got no passion to fix nothing because you ain't got no money. And so you find yourself in this kind of a cycle. And no one's done nothing to be able to fix that middle class. And so there's this kind of a push to hope that Grand Bahama could revive with the introduction of the hotel. But that is for workers and laborers. Man, you only want to have no conversation with me. The introduction and the opening of the hotel is for workers, is for laborers. It's for the majority of persons. Top tier, you're going to hire 1,500 to 1,800 people tops. The hotel, when it was on full blast, was able to hire maybe 1,200 people. Between Breakers Key, between Reef Village, between the Lighthouse Point, and all the auxiliary locations, the restaurants and whatnot, maybe 1,200 people tops. I can't remember. At one point, I had to know the number because they used to test us. I can't remember this thing now. My brain have other things to do. I got bills to pay. I got just put a section there. And so this is only for laborers. And how things are happening in the country, with the economic depression that's happening across the country. And I'm not talking about the fact that, and maybe I should reframe it. It's not really necessarily an economic depression of sorts. It is the pursuit of new opportunities. And I think a lot of persons are maintaining. But as a result of these hurricanes, and more specifically as a result of what has happened with COVID-19, persons recognize that things will not remain the same. And so people are looking for different opportunities. You would have seen a contingent of persons move from one space to another and go into Bimini to open up to Bimini Bay. That's one. And then you would have seen persons move for Celebration Key. right? And by force of nature, persons would have moved from Abaco and Long Island as a result of Hurricane Dorian and Joaquin. Yeah, I think there is settling into the mind of the Bahamian people that things will not remain the same in this country. This is not our father's country anymore, as it relates to the ideas and this kind of this beauty that existed in this space. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. I tell you this, every one of my brothers, me, my brother right after me, and my youngest brother, none of us live in Grand Bahama anymore. We could have never imagined that in our entire life. You hear me? I never imagined leaving Grand Bahama. I felt like a failure the first time I lost my job. A failure. I felt like an absolute failure because I watched my father for years hold on to his job. I felt like an absolute failure. What is wrong with me? I can't keep a job. And then the whole hotel shut down. You ain't hear me. That happened twice. Then I gone back to the hotel. The whole hotel shut down. If you drive right now on West Bay Street, around that curb, you wouldn't even know a hotel was there if you didn't know. The whole hotel gone. Twice lost my job working for the hotel. This perpetuation of an idea of being able to look for another anchor project is not the growth of the middle class in this society. I want to commend the government for any initiatives that they're taking for being able to move towards entrepreneurialism, and being able to empower. I just saw a young lady, let's look into the papers and see exactly what's what, but I just saw a young lady talk about the acceptance of some finances that the government has released for entrepreneurialism. Any concept towards entrepreneurialism is great, but it has to be paired with education. Because you only never teach us this in school. You didn't teach me how to deal with money in school. The television told me when you get a lick, make sure you're fresh. Talk to me. I can't even get no amen. And that's what the television tell me. Listen, when you hit a lick, you can need some Jordans right off the top. This is important. When you hit a lick, you could need to be able to go down to my wife is called it Uncle Wally, right? You know, it's Uncle Wally. Walmart. You would need to do these things. Nobody ever teaches financial literacy in school. We learn about money. The closest we came to financial literacy for me is compound interest. And if I had sense, then I would have been depressed. Because all this teeth into my money, my God, what I can do? But we had this idea that society would remain the same. Things have shifted. So it just goes right back to the top. With all these elements out of place, with no focus being able to touch the intangibles, because governments are focused on the tangibles. I got to talk to Kingsley whenever he gets back. I think he's on a trip. He texts me, tells me he's on a trip. So I want to talk to him about the school in Holmes Rock that is going to be that's open up for I don't even know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but it was a secondary high school or the junior high school in Holmes Rock that kind of slid through two administrations, did nothing. Obi worked on it. Obi passed away. Obi lost. Obi worked on it. He lost, right? Pakeisha was in the capacity. The place did nothing during her tenure, right? Obi got back in, started to work on that. Obi passed away. Kingsley found himself in this kind of position, and now he was working on it, or they continued to be able to work on that, and now it's open. There's so much elements in our society that is just out of whack. Everybody's working on the tangibles and don't understand the intangibles. You're working on the touch-see field, but you don't understand the essence of how to be able to get this thing done properly. Let's shoot straight. You open up this school and you can teach children the same thing where they can't get no job. Same thing. You haven't done an evaluation of the entire country and the education system. This ain't difficult stuff. There should be an evaluation done on the education system to identify the SWOT analysis of our students in this dispensation. Oh my God, that's a lot of words to say. We need to know how smart and dumb our children is. We need to know what is the common theme that runs through this generation of children. What is their interest? We need to know that. And once we identify their interest, right, from the smallest to the oldest, from the first grade or the K2, K1, K2, up to the grade 13 in some instances and freshmen in college, we need to know what is your interest for this time. So evaluate them. Find out from the children. What in your mind? What you thinking? You like computers? What do you like? You got to find out from them. And after we identify these particular things, then we should be able to focus energy and effort in developing a concept and forging relationships both internally with our private partners and our citizens and externally with entities to be able to develop an industry to directly pour into our children. Yeah, this is not a rejection or denial that BTVI exists, but this is an emphasis on understanding where do we fit in the global scheme of things. And so for me, when we go back and we start to have this conversation about the idea of what's happening in our society as it relates to having debates, I don't want nobody come here and telling me about how much speed bump you can put in your constituency and I paint the bus stop and $150,000 to paint bus stops over a year. $150,000 access. That no one have to grill you and judge you or find out, to hold you accountable for. And we're looking at you and seeing no productivity in this constituency. I don't understand this. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. $150,000 in 2025. Both the FNM and the PLP, unfortunately, despite the fact that the PLP is making these strides that we continue to talk about, despite the fact that the FNM has articulated this sort of an idea of being able to move into certain economies, the black economy, the blue economy, the off-green economy, the sunburnt orange economy, all these economies, I don't know. Despite the fact that we're hearing these relentless conversations about what we intend to do, you're going on your campaign and I watching you pull out the same sheet you all had in 1973. The same notepad. Hi, how you doing? What's your name? And how many persons live in your house? And we want to ask whether or not what the hell are y'all doing, boy? What y'all doing? 2025. Huh? You got a broom in your house that could mop out every section of where you keep your shoes. 2025. You got a little small disc-looking broom in your house what could, when you spill something, it is come pick it up. 2025. Political organizations are still walking around a piece of paper. I then pitched to these organizations. I could create something for you that everything could be stored in a database. Now you know where everybody is. You know how everybody house look. You know, 2025. And you talking about a debate? Yeah, man, I appreciate what you're saying. These people mining on that, they only want win. Win, 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 win. That's it. That's all they want. They only want win. They don't care. Unfortunately, and I can't say that because of their lack of articulation. I can't say that they don't care based upon what they're saying to us. I could say you don't care based upon your fruits. You're not concerned based upon the evidence that's laid out on the situation. You're not concerned about that. 2025. You within your organization still giving out. You're having a debate about backpacks, bananas. You think they should have put a logo on it? Jesus Christ, this is my bag. If you ain't want it, you ain't want it. Yeah, something to be said about the idea that the organization should be able to have more empathy and understanding for the underprivileged in our society and be able to understand that this level of scrutiny that's going to be leveled against them and levied against them. Yeah, you should consider that. You should give consideration to that. I see Bohemian Train put up something on his Facebook page that spoke to the fact that there is an entity, a law office, who's giving out bags for years and who always understood that the ones who really need this bag don't need the extra scrutiny. God, you broke it. My God. Yeah, I could understand that. There's something to be said about that. But at the same time, they could choose. They don't have to give nobody no bag. They just study in their bag. That ain't got nothing to do with that. Hey, they could choose. And they chose to put their logo on the bag. Maybe they learn for next time. But we're having a debate about bags. In a dispensation where our children aren't given access, like Wi-Fi should be a human right. Access to the internet and the ability to be able to access information, to understand these things, and curriculum in school to be able to teach our children how to navigate these things and understand. Just like how we know what is good touch and bad touch, we should know what is good sight and bad sight. Yeah, but there's no emphasis, there's no effort into these particular things. You sitting down here arguing about who right and who wrong with their things. And we're not having a conversation how there is a lack that exists in our society for them to understand you shouldn't do this. Maybe we should shift to a different direction. You're still giving out books and pencils and pens and this and that. Nothing wrong with these things, but there's got to come a point where we level up. And that hasn't happened as yet. It got to come a time where we say, I think we should look at something different. That's just me. Lines are wide open. Whatever you guys want to talk about today, I'd love to be able to do that. We're all out here. You're talking about debates. I don't think that these guys are ready for big boy action, not in a bad way. There's a great deal of persons. We can see that for the shifting and the contortion, right? This is a relentless contortion that persons who would have shown up on the PLP ticket, shown up as a desire to be able to serve those persons in one capacity or another, then because they were not given an opportunity, they've gone over to the FNM, and obviously they must have dragged secrets. I don't know what happened, but you get an opportunity over there. There's no expectation. If I'm looking at you, me, Howard Grant, if I'm looking at you, I don't think you're coming here for me. I don't think you're coming here for my constituency. I think you're coming here for you. And maybe your mother and your grandmother. Oh, my baby's smart, eh? Jesus God, you see, he's the MBA. That's what you want here? Oh, God, baby, you make mama so proud. Oh, you say MP now. You did good. Get my long gloves. Oh, is that what you want here? It's bananas to me. This is crazy. You have no desire to be able to serve the constituency. You've done nothing in these particular capacities. Is there a desire to be able to show that I am smart now? I done been off to school. I did all these things. And the only way I could show this and rub this in the face of my classmates and all those naysayers over my lifetime is acquire a position in power. What the hell are you doing, man? This is superficial, surface foolishness. It's time for us to build this country. What you doing? Why are you doing this? You serve the FNM, right? And as a result of serving the FNM, you ain't get what you want. Now, boom, you're going over there to serve the PLP. It says to me that you was in this the whole time for you. The whole time for you. And you could fight my guts out and say, Howard, what about you? I tell you, I've never been a liar to you. I've been transparent with you the entire time. My service to the Democratic National Alliance, in my mind, was supposed to be relentless and perpetual. I moved to Nassau to serve the DNA. Ask Branville, call him. Branville, come sit with me. Ask Branville, call him. party eroded so quick under the guise of the right thing to do under the Westminster system. And based upon, political and social pressure to say that, well, Mazian, you may not have it this time. You can get it next time. Maybe in 15 years. And nobody will wait 15 years. And so I committed myself back to the party that I knew, with the idea that I can carry my convictions in the organization and change it from within. I get changed from within for sure. Within the former place I was, Howard, I think we're going in different directions. Yeah. You carry your convictions with you in this country is the problem. And I think politicians recognize that at the forefront. And a great deal of them will not be interested, in my view, of getting into no debate, especially if somebody have real passion for community. You don't even know what to say to that. They hit you with real things. Well, the power turn off in this particular constituency and this time, at least 78 times last year as a result of this, and this, and these inconsistencies. And you didn't even know that. You don't even know the stats in this. You don't know nothing about this area. You come here because the parties say, go there. Then people may vote for you. Try it out. And you did none of your homework, so you can't debate. You can't debate. I don't know the aspirant module that exists in the FNM, in the PLP, and that seeks to be emerged, or that is emerging in the Free National Movement. I don't know the module. But I doubt the module has anything to do with the constituencies. It has everything to do with the articulation, with the understanding, with the preparation of how you approach this position in the event that you find yourself successful or even running up to it. And it gives you history of the organization. I don't know the module. But I can't write a module for the constituency of 8 Maroc as the FNM or the PLP. I can't. All I could do is tell you, hey, look here, brother, this is what the party requires. So let's see. Let's see whether or not, I doubt that this administration would do it. For me, it wouldn't make sense. But let's see if successive administrations find it necessary to be able to combat their opponents with information as to whether or not they're prepared to move in a particular direction in these various constituencies. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see something different. You'll get true flavor. We get authenticity. Like the fellas say, organic Bahamians, which is, in my mind, is the wild thing to say, organic Bahamians. Okay. Let's talk about it, guys. Join me on the show today, 827-0111, 827-0111 to give me a call, or hit me up with the text, 827-0111, same text line. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that before the end of this month. God spend my life and go down to my people and get some things. I got to shout out Baja Retreat. I got to shout out Garden of Eden for being able to do that. I got to shout out AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They've always been there. I got to shout out Butlers, Butlers Funeral Homes and Crematorium. They've always been good partners. I'm hoping that they return in this particular space. I got to shout them out. I got to be able to shout out MST Rebar with my good friend Avery Liborn, all those persons who have supported me in the past and continue to be able to support me in this kind of a space. I got to be able to shout you out. Maybe you know where I am. Maybe you're indifferent. Maybe you're a little skeptical. You're a little scared. Maybe you know. But, I hear. Oh, my God. So Jesus here. Glory to God. Let's take this quick commercial break, guys. We're going to be right back after this.
Sponge your move. Hey. Serious thing. Watch this. Late last Monday evening, girl knocking on my door. Give me a good reason why I should open the store. Girl, you know what time it is. I ain't get time to play. But I think you better get from your see mama passing this way. Oh. my chain. Woman, stop making noise around you. I'm embarrassed and shame. I don't know how you get like this. You got somebody to blame. Cause listen to what people say and come around me to complain. So, you ain't seen nothing yet. Woman, I tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet. There's something you never forget. But baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, come on, hey. I tell you that. Everywhere you go, you want bad mouth people and things. And then cause problem around the place. Watch this. Everybody get around, see what's going on. This another example of man, woman in this town. People will spread your name, you know that's the way they go. Ain't no use to bring up yourself to look like a puppy show. So, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, tell me, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Yes, there's something you'll never forget. But baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Come on, there. Woman, you mine, woman, mine, you get no the hand. Listen, things get really out of hand. I had to call the police. The way she tear my Tommy said you could swear it was cheap. Policeman came on the scene ready to rough me up. But when I told him how the story goes, he said, I ain't getting that. Hold up. Wait a minute. Look ya. Who's bad? Bad, bad, bad. Who's bad? Bad, bad, bad. Be bad. Girl, you don't know how mad I am. Bad, bad, bad. Who's bad? Bad, bad, bad. Be bad. Girl, you don't know how bad I am. Hey! You ain't seen nothing yet. Believe it, baby. You ain't seen nothing yet. There's something you never forget. But baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, come on. See all these things I gotta go through. And I trying to be a good man. I had to take it to court and borrow over the fees. It's good to have a life again, forget about the bitter street. When I make my sponge move, she got to be the bomb. When you see me with an island girl, what you had good is gone, woman. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. There's something you never forget. But baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. This thing I'll never forget. But baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Woman, I'll give you my car, I'll give you my ring. You get diamond and pearls so you can bling, bling, bling. Now you can sing, 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 and you want sing, sing, sing. Now what else you want? Cause I give you everything. Look ya, give me back my house, give me back my car, give me back my ring. No more bling, bling, bling. You can't sing, no ching, diamond ring. You know what I mean? Hey, go down on the corner, catch me a cold one, lay under the tamarind tree until the morning come. You ain't seen nothing, baby. Tell me, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, there's something you never forget. That I, hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Tell me, you ain't seen nothing yet. How you feel now? You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Listen, woman, mine, girl. Hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you. Give me back my house, give me back my car, give me back my ring, and no more bling, bling, bling. You can't sing, sing, sing. No more ting, ting, ting. You ain't seen nothing yet. Double ring. You do everything you wanted. Now you can't complain. I was a good man.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The Foundation with Howard Grant jamming with you. It is a beautiful, beautiful Friday. We didn't have a chance to be able to go through the paper. This is a live show. So we talk about these papers, pull up the Tribunes, all the information's in the Tribune. No entry to Haitians coming from the United States of America. Oh, I should have done this. I should have sent this to my producer. I'll send it right now to see whether or not he can be able to play this right now before our 1 o'clock event. So let me see if I can be able to pull up this information so you could hear it. If you did not hear it, there's some information that came from Latreille Ramming in his particular capacity out of the office of the Prime Minister to talk more specifically about this and to talk about the government's position as it relates to persons coming from Haiti. Now, I didn't understand some things. I couldn't understand some stuff, right? I just want to be honest with you. I couldn't understand some stuff. Because there is... Okay, let me send this to him. I can see if I can be able to get him to play it. Okay, so just bear with me for 2 seconds. You're right here with me. I can send this to him. Okay, so just play that audio for me whenever you get a chance. You can be able to talk about that. But anyway, let's read the paper and see exactly what's what. So this is no entry to Haitians coming for U.S. visas. U.S. State Department names Bahamas as a visa application hub for Haitians. Now, this is heavy for me, right? It's heavy because I had an opportunity to be able to get my visa. Remember, I went to China. I get stuck in China, right? Well, actually, I was in Hong Kong, right? And I slept in the airport for 5 days because of a torn passport, right? So essentially, if your documents are torn, that means that the documents are sort of null and void. It's no longer an official document. It doesn't work in that particular capacity, nonetheless. So I got it fixed, called Fred Mitchell. Fred Mitchell called his people. His people came down from Beijing, and they was able to give me sort of a temporary visa. I finally got back home because they told me, Mr. Howard, I want to let you know that if you stay here more than 5 days, 7 days, we're going to have to detain you and we put you on blacklist. You can't come back to China. So I said, what? Give me my thing. Because I was waiting to see whether or not they would let me get entry into the city. And that didn't happen. I felt like it was a divine thing, but nonetheless, it didn't happen. And so I got out of there, came back home, got a brand new passport. On top of the brand new passport I got a visa. I hadn't had a visa forever. Last time I had a visa, I think my mother applied for it. Because we traveled on police record. It wasn't necessary. If I ain't getting no boat, what I need that for? Anyway, long story short, I got the visa. And I stood in the line at the U.S. Embassy. And there were persons who were locally employed as interpreters for people who come in from Venezuela, coming from all these particular places, because it seems as though this is the hub for the region. Persons come here and to get their visa. Okay, so if that is the case, if that is actual and factual, if that is the case, because I've never actually been able to do that. I never sought further information to find out whether or not this is a hub for the region. But there were people from different spaces coming here for a United States visa. Right? There's one guy walked in the line with a Bahamian passport. I thought this was wild. I was just, I was getting people business just through observation, trying to figure out what's really going on in this place. There's one guy comes in here with a Bahamian passport. And he dressed right down to the T. I mean, shoes, the whole nine. He dressed right down to the T. And his dressing is peculiar. So, this guy ain't from here. Where the hell is this guy from? Anyway, Bahamian passport. He's not talking the entire time. Gets to the line, the lady asks him the question. And she said, what are you applying for? Applying for a visa, right? And his accent was familiar when he was asking. So she said, you got a Bahamian passport? He said, yes. She said, where you from originally? So he says, from Haiti, right? So she said, do you live in the Bahamas now? He said, yes, I have a passport. She said, how long you been living in the Bahamas? He said, been living here 6 months. She said, you've been living in the Bahamas for 6 months? And he have a whole passport. That thing blew my mind. I said, what the hell is going on here? Right? So he said, I want to go to Disney World. At least 7 people on that line say I want to go to Disney World. I don't know whether or not they think that this is a generic thing. Like, once you say you go into Disney World, you're straight. But they'll never deny you. They have to let you into Walt Disney, right? So a few people on the line, I want to go to Disney World. This guy stood up, I want to go to Disney World. And they denied him. They said, you're not going to get any access today. A Venezuelan couple denied. Because they asked them. You could hear no one talking on the line. You stand up on this line. The line is like a serpentine line. You stand up on the line. You wait for your time to be able to get up to this particular space. And so now I breathe hard. I said, Jesus, will I get denied? But I'm watching, natives go up to the line. Okay, enjoy yourself. And they're gone. Okay, enjoy yourself. And they're gone. And then foreigners, not that they're taking their time to scrutinize them, but they're looking at them, taking the time with the documents, and I'm watching not all, but some persons be denied. I said, whoa, what the hell is this? Right? So if I'm watching that and I recognize that this is a hub regionally for persons to be able to come and get the documents scrutinized, identified, and prepared to be able to go to the United States of America, this is very peculiar. I want you to be able to play something from Latreille. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Latreille Ramming out of the Office of the Prime Minister being able to talk to us about what was happening at the U.S. As it relates to the embassy. Listen to this. Listen to this. All right, so he has to stop something so he could be able to play this, but I want you to be able to hear this because it was peculiar for me. I just did not understand this. I did not understand this. Okay, the government of the Bahamas has indicated that they won't accept persons coming from Haiti into the Bahamas for the purposes of a U.S. visa. Peculiar. Listen.
In June of this year, the United States issued a policy fully restricting and limiting the entry of Haitian nationals to the United States. In light of that policy, today's announcement that the immigrant visa applications by Haitians to the United States can only be processed at the U.S. Embassy in Nassau will result in no additional entries to the Bahamas for the purpose of a U.S. visa application. Because the U.S. policy fully restricts entry to their country by Haitian nationals, we will not grant the entry to the Bahamas for the purpose of any applications applying for a U.S. visa.
Now, if you heard that, then you'd understand that as a result, because he didn't go into depth and detail, which I think he should have been able to give a little bit more meat so persons could be able to understand. I think all of us have to understand and appreciate our audiences. Whilst the information is good, it still leaves a great deal of us on a sort of a cliffhanger if we don't have this kind of a level and depth of understanding of what's happening from a geopolitical standpoint. All right? Because the United States of America has put Haiti on a blacklist of sorts, right? We would have been able to identify in June of this year and a little bit earlier than that Haiti has been on a list where there was significant scrutiny, and then there was entirely this kind of a stop, boom, from Haitians coming into the United States of America. I'm not just talking about illegal migrants, Haitians. Point blank, Haitians, right? And so when you recognize that, you'd understand that there has been sort of an increase where, and this is Latreille, that's it, that's Latreille, right? I asked him why he didn't do it. He figured he could do it now. I'm here now, sir. I'm here, sir. What are you doing, right? I'm here, sir, right? So anyway, he just wants to show me that he know how to do things. Praise God. I'm not going to fight him, right? So after they've been put on this list where you won't be able to enter the United States of America, there's a very clear understanding that if you can't enter the United States of America, what the hell are you applying for a visa for? Point blank. If you can't enter the United States of America, what are you applying for a visa for? Now, based upon this pronouncements out of the Office of the Prime Minister and the government taking on this very strong position when they said no entry to Haitians coming for U.S. visa, I thought it was peculiar because if I now know that you're not allowing me entrance into the United States of America, you're not allowing me entrance into the Bahamas as a result of my position, as a result of my pursuit for a visa, maybe I change my reasoning, because turmoil and unrest still exist heavily in Haiti. Barbecue them still out there. And so my desire to be able to get out of the tribulation, muck and mire that exists in Haiti, I'll tell you whatever you need to hear. There has been a contingent of people, whether that be COI and other persons, who have been saying relentlessly, and we even heard the murmurs come out of the official opposition about this idea that Haitians are entering into our borders and staying illegally. They're giving this allegation, right? And I think we would have heard from Trevor. What's Trevor's last name is? Trevor Johnson from Bahamas Air indicated that this wasn't so, right? Persons are indicating that planes are coming in from Haiti full and going back empty. Full and going back empty. As though this is the proverbial wheelbarrow and they're dumping. This is how they make it seem. And I don't know why I don't know why they build it in this particular capacity. But this is the build that they feed us socially. And they say now Haitians are coming from Haiti into the Bahamas, finding their way here and becoming settled in this place. And Bahamas Air, this is the allegation. This ain't Howard Grant saying this. I'm saying to you, this is what exists. Bahamas Air essentially is going back dead leg with nobody on the flight, picking up people and bringing them back here. So they're saying that there's no balance, and it seems as though this is what's happening. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, that that's possibly happening. If that is possibly happening, because if the goal was the United States of America at one point, if the goal was the United States of America, and you can't go there no more, just little America, you're coming here. So you would do whatever it takes to get in this space. I got to be able to figure this out, because how do we scrutinize a man's intentions? You could tell us, I ain't coming for no visa. You ain't getting for no visa. We know that. But what other reasons are you letting them into the Bahamas now? What level of scrutiny are we putting against these particular persons? What expectations do we have? What do we do in terms of proactively? Anytime I sign up an immigration form or try to be able to get in America, or when I go in before the immigration officer, before the customs officer, before I cross over that yellow line, the first thing they will know is, where are you staying? And I got to tell them I staying on wherever I stay in. I stay in La Quinta. I stay in at the Westin. I stay in here. I stay in wherever the hell I stay. I give them all the address, all the information, and they can see a consistency in their system to say that, okay, he normally stays here. Then we're transparent with them. Oh, no, we're driving up. We're going up to Atlanta. We're going up to Kissimmee. We're getting here. We're getting it, whatever. And we have to say that to them. What level of scrutiny are we leveling, are we being able to put against these persons who are coming into our country? We're not asking them nothing. Where you staying? I'm staying with my cousin. Who the hell is your cousin? No, I stay with my cousin. Your cousin? Yeah, my cousin live here. I stay with my cousin. You and all 10 of these people? Yeah, we all stay with my cousin. We got to have these kind of conversations. Because all this is sort of being able to fall in line with what the expectations are from the United States of America in that kind of a position that they've taken against Haiti. Yeah, so you fall in line, and the optics are, we agree with you. But when these persons who potentially, well, I can't say what their intents are, but who seek to come to the Bahamas, not for a visa, how are we now scrutinizing them? How are we now being able to deduce whether or not they're staying here in our country for the purposes of refuge from the political turmoil and the unrest that exists in Haiti, or for just sort of a time and a half and getting back to their space? We don't know. And it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing that we are relentlessly reactive as a nation, as a people, as a government. That we haven't learned from January 2010, with the earthquake in Haiti, and former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham would have let over 100 persons out of the detention center, and still we, at this particular juncture, can't give an account for where these persons have gone. Still, we can't do it. We haven't learned from that. We haven't learned from the fact that after Dorian and the mud and pigeon peas out of Abaco and all these particular things happened in Abaco where we couldn't find persons, the government of the Bahamas said that less than 100 persons have lost their lives, and the account that exists on the ground and the trauma that exists on the ground, and persons saying, well, it was a hell of a lot more than that. The idea, and I'll never forget when Juan McCartney was having this kind of a conversation. Never forget. I can't say this on other people's station. I'll never forget. And he called Dwayne Sands. And they were talking about how people were walking over bodies, and Dwayne Sands almost break down crying. He said, it's horrible. It's horrible. This is that is the next thing. And I think he was pulled in as a result of that interview that he gave with Juan McCartney. He called into the show. We haven't learned from that. The government of the Bahamas flew in tons and tons of people without any form of verification of who they are. You didn't know who these people were. They shuffle them into Kendall Isaacs. They take their information. They do whatever they're supposed to do. They gave every single one of them a telephone. Every single one of these persons got a telephone. And even now, they accommodated them, they sheltered them, they took care of them. These people are the mud and pigeon peas, and we couldn't tell and authenticate whether or not they're Bahamian or of Haitian origin or who they were. We didn't know. We had no idea. Not from an official standpoint. We had no idea. And so you look at this and you make no adjustments, none. You make no adjustments. Not to prepare for the next natural disaster, not to prepare for the next hurricane, not to prepare for any of these particular things. You make absolutely no adjustments. And it has nothing to do with this administration. But it's just a governmental mindset that is rather... Call back Anton. I try to answer this thing. I got to buy me a new phone. Right? Let me see if I can call him. You make no adjustments for it. You do not prepare yourself for the next dispensation. And we have to do better than that. We must do better than that.
The consumer you dialed is busy now. Please redial later.
Anton, this is me trying to call
the
you.
The consumer you dialed is busy now. Please redial later.
Anton, this is me trying to call you back. It's me trying to call you back. I'll try you one more time. Let me call you. You don't call me.
Howard.
Hey, go ahead, Anton. What's up?
Can you hear?
Yeah, man. Go ahead. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. A pleasant good afternoon, Howard, and good afternoon to the Foundation Nation. Look here. This is a serious topic, you know. This whole matter regarding the proclamation by President Trump, and that proclamation not being lifted as yet, right, by him, right? And then you have an organ of the State Department, making a pronouncement that the embassy the U.S. Embassy in the Bahamas is a hub for face-to-face interviews for persons who were on the proclamation list, right? And then, of course, the statement by the OPM, and by all means, naturally speaking, if the Prime Minister makes a policy statement, I believe that any world leader and certainly any entity operating under that world leadership would comply with their policy, right? And so to my mind, it makes sense for the Prime Minister, the office of the Prime Minister, to state that anyone coming from Haiti to conduct interviews with regards to visas or otherwise will not be permitted entry into the country. That makes sense.
I agree with you. And that's what I'm saying. It does make sense. However, if there are persons coming from Haiti to the Bahamas, they couldn't from June to now. If you are in the region of Haiti or you put any documentation or any information on any website to say that you're coming from Haiti, you are automatically rejected. Pop. Right off the top. Right? You flag, you're red listed, so you can't even apply for a visa. You can't even apply for a visa. However, you grab your money and you come into the Bahamas, and one of the instances you could say, I go in for visa. You ain't going for no visa, but you still have a desire to go to the Bahamas. The question I have is, how do we scrutinize these people who seek refuge into our space and then find themselves as eventual illegals? That's the problem I have. We got to figure out how to deal with that.
The director, if I'm not mistaken, of immigration spoke to that as it relates to entry into the country, right? Or I think it was the minister, of Foreign Affairs, or perhaps it was both, who spoke to this matter, right? And they're very thorough. No, it was the director. They're very thorough in their investigations right there on scene at the LPIA with persons coming in from Haiti, right? And Howard, let me just clarify this, right? Because the Bahamas government is not denying entry into the Bahamas of persons coming from Haiti, Haitians coming from Haiti.
That's what I said. No, that's not happening.
They're stating very specifically, if you're coming with the intent
for a visa
of interviewing for a visa, you will be denied entry into the Bahamas, because we both know on a regular basis flights have been coming in from Haiti into the Bahamas. And flights have been going from the Bahamas back to Haiti.
Yes.
Taking those persons back. And I'm saying to you, based upon your question, that the director spoke very clearly to this point when he expressed that they have their investigations that they conduct, they have their questions that has to be satisfied, and if you fit and meet the criteria, you're permitted entry into the country. And he also expressed, based on the records of immigration, they have had no issues, nothing that popped up in the form of an issue with persons who were accepted into the country, returning to their original destination. There has been no issues. And so that, to my mind, is not a concern, because the top official outside of the permanent secretary, right, has spoken to the matter. And there is no issue relating to Haitians coming into the country, doing their business, what they came here for, and returning back home to Haiti. There is no issue, Howard. So why would you discourage them from coming to the Bahamas? There's no reason to discourage them. We want to encourage them. And on another note, Howard, as it relates to the ruckus that COI and the F&M has been trying to create in the market.
This is what I was going to say to you. What I was about to say to you, when I feel like you're going in this direction, is that how do we quelch the the unquenchable desire to be able to villainize Haitians from one side or another for those persons who, I don't know why. I think they want to use this as a political tool to find themselves in victory. And so now Haitians become villains, right?
Right.
And, they still coming.
Right.
How do we now fix that? How do we now deal with that? Listen, we're not being able to demonize these particular persons. The United States of America has already indicated that they're not taking visas. Okay, as a result of that, if we're asking them questions, they say to come for a visa, we'll have to deny them for that purpose only. However, if they're coming for business, if they're coming for this, they're coming for that, they're entered. Bahamians, not all. There is a group of Bahamians who are checkered in color, who say these people are coming and staying.
Right.
How do we fix that?
Well, Howard, the nation's chief, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, spoke to this matter, right? And he stated very clearly, if you're in the Bahamas illegally, you will be repatriated, or he invited such persons to leave of their own volition, right? Because the Bahamas government will not tolerate, will not collaborate with, and will not encourage illegal migration. That's the bottom line. At the same time, Howard, the Prime Minister acknowledged the realities in our country, which is that we have a worker shortage in the construction industry, a major worker shortage in the construction industry. Howard, when let's go back to Atlantis. When Atlantis was building, were Bahamians able to fulfill all of the working requirements for Atlantis? All of the worker requirements?
But Anton,
they brought in a lot of Mexicans.
Anton, tell me this though: is this a fallacy that are we superseding a real issue here to get to justification? Are we hopping over it? Because guess what? Every Haitian that comes into our country is not qualified or prepared to work in a particular industry. We don't even know if they're job ready. However, there's still a significant influx based upon what we're hearing that's coming in. How do we justify that? By just being able to say, okay, they're coming in, we could be able to utilize them. But these Haitian, they got to know something about gardening. They got to know something about construction. Is that happening in these particular areas, right?
Well, Howard, can you hear me, Howard?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll put it to you this way, right? There's a void. There's a gap. That is the reality. No matter how we scream from the mountaintop, too many Haitians are here. No matter how the small portion of Bahamians who are screaming that scream, who are trying to make that into a political football, but still trying to look for these persons to vote for them, which is highly hypocritical. No matter how they scream that, Howard, there is a gap. Bahamians at large and in large numbers are not going on those construction sites, Howard. They're not going to work in the yards, Howard. They're not going to work on the agricultural field. That is the reality, Howard. That ain't no if, that ain't no and, that ain't no but. That is what exists currently on the ground.
Yeah.
They're not, and if they go, Howard, they go on for a week, maybe 2 weeks at maximum.
Hey, 14 days is the cutoff point. 14 days is the cutoff point. Hey, big man, listen, you ain't got that check for me here. You don't think I can come back next week?
14 days is the cutoff point.
That's the cutoff
when they get that money,
they gone.
They out of there.
They gone.
And what you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do with your construction site when you have timelines, when you have materials coming in, when you have weather elements, when you have deadlines you have to meet? Huh? When you have the risk of theft on top of all of that.
Yeah.
If you have your materials hanging, what are you supposed to do, Howard?
So what are you saying to us? That we should give greater consideration into this integration?
Listen, Howard, we should be thanking God. We should be seriously thanking God that we have access to legal migration at such a sustained level that we can have Haitians here assisting us for the last 40 plus years
in
building our country. That is exactly what has been happening, Howard.
Well, I like the conversation.
They have been helping us to build our country. And Howard, me and you have had this conversation many times in the other place, right? And I always say to you, Howard, we don't have a Haitian migration problem. What we have, Howard, we have a problem of opportunity. Listen, Howard, those very same people who complaining.
Yeah.
Right? Many of them who have gone through the process of building a home or building apartment, scavenging to find those Haitian laborers to help them build.
Wow.
Huh? And many of those persons who have yet to build, when their time comes to build, Howard, they could be scavenging for those Haitian workers again.
Yeah.
And so we got to stop playing this politics, man, Howard. Howard, they are brothers and sisters, beyond all of this nonsense, what COI and FNM tries to steal. And I noticed, let me add this in.
It's going to be some cussing today.
COI,
It's going to be some cussing today for this. Anton, I got a guest that just came in. I got to be able to put him on.
Let me just finish with this, Howard.
Go ahead.
I noticed that the leader of the COI has changed his talk now. He's changed his talk to, if we need them, let's have smart immigration. I've been there for the last 20 years. That's what his new talk is now. Because he's trying to win 1 or 2 seats. And he knows that he's going to need that support. So his talk now is, let's go with smart immigration. He ain't talking about running about the country no more. He's talking about smart immigration. We got to stop playing games in this country. I am happy and proud. I'm ending right now, but I'm happy and proud that Philip Davis is the Prime Minister and that he isn't falling for the hook and crook trickery of politicking. And we know some people wrote a book on politicking in the country.
Bye, Anton. You do too much. Thank you, guys. Guys, going to take this quick commercial break. Guys, remember, the numbers are right there. If you want to be a part of the conversation, I'd love you to do that. 827-0111. 827-0111. The numbers are right down there. You can check me out on Facebook. Check me out on YouTube. We're going to take this quick commercial break. When we get back, one of my very good friends is in the studio with us. We're going to be able to talk about this right here on The Foundation.
Bohemian music. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. My Bohemian people love to reconstruct. Let's go, boy. Let's go. Reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. My Bohemian people love to reconstruct. Wake and scrape is easy to do. Pull up your pants like nothing just off the shoe. Make everybody them be know what you do. Then mash the roach and do the come style too. Not because I rock means I made of stone. But we can scrape is cultural music homegrown. It comes in the form of an expensive cologne. And when you wearing it like you drunk with Patron. So reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. Reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. My Bohemian people love to reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. I'm from Virginia, and I like reconstruct. I'm Haitian, man, and I like it in Rick, and I like it in strip. Turn it up! Separate is no recommendation. It's time for Reckon Straight to run our nation. We can't sit back and let others invade and taking away the joy of breaking and scraping. It's time to step up your plan and get what you deserve for you and your band. Stop acting like some sitting ducks in a pond and show these people how reconstruct carry on. Everybody reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. All over the Bahamas they like it, boy. Reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. My Bohemian people love to reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. say. You don't remember when it was back in the day. Listening to Tribred and Tony McKay. Well, paved the way for behaving music today. What they do? My people, I'll do anything for you. Listen carefully. No matter what any other artist can do. The only way you get respect, that is you. The only way is if you represent the 242, the 242. And that is reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. Man, everybody love to reconstruct. Bohemian music, big boy. My Bohemian people love to reconstruct. Bohemian music, not to scratch. Reconstruct. We got a time, they love reconstruct. At the crop fest, they love reconstruct. Caribbean people, they love reconstruct. And a reconstruct, and a reconstruct, and a reconstruct, and a reconstruct. And a reconstruct, and a reconstruct. RNS, that's reconstruct music, boy. And a reconstruct. Even my dog people in Ghana like reconstruct. Turks and Caicos, they love reconstruct. Homecoming time, they love reconstruct. And salty fest, they love reconstruct. And a reconstruct, and a reconstruct, and a Gillian McKenzie love reconstruct. Let's Frank West love reconstruct. Stalito love reconstruct, boy. Ira and the Spine Bar, big man. The Falcons, all of the people from reconstruct. Uncle D!
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant right here on Oprah Winfrey's internet. We're all over the thing today. Well, everybody seemed to own the internet, right? It's Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, all these people. But I'm grateful to be here with you. And it's a Friday. You know, we always try to be able to take it easy. But we're talking about national issues. So if you want to be able to be a part of the conversation, I'd love you to do that. 827-0111, 827-0111. As we continue to be able to have a good conversation, chop this thing down and talk about where we are and where we intend to go. So I want to thank all those persons for participating. Somebody texted me and says, Howard, is Anton your guest today? Right? No, he's not, right? You all need to stop. He was my guest yesterday. Right, we did 2 shows on Wednesday, anticipating what was going to be able to happen. So we did 2 shows on Wednesday, anticipating that, and we're back in this kind of a space right now. I think I got a call coming through. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Hey, wait, Graham, you call back. What's up?
You know, we need responsible immigration.
Yeah.
Let all the other people know we need responsible immigration. My dad was responsible immigration. World War II, he was invited to come to the U.S. because they needed help to build the U.S. That doesn't mean he owns the U.S. and should take it over now, does it?
Yeah, if you call in that responsible immigration, a lot of persons know that as the contract. A lot of persons from the Bahamas went over on the contract and built up Coconut Grove and built up all those particular spaces during that time.
And Wisconsin. He went to Wisconsin to milk cows. But that doesn't mean he got ownership in the country.
No.
And so he was invited to come for 1 year, but he had to apply from country of origin. Like Loftus Roker said, you don't apply from the U.S. You don't sneak in the U.S. and then apply, eh?
No, you can't do that.
So we are breaking the laws every which way you can think of it.
Yeah.
And we would invite people to come from all over the place because we had people come from all over the world to help build Bahamar, know, and the hotels before that. The thing is, you must return to country of origin.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you get to stay here, does it? And vote against or vote for some party, but still voting and taking the privilege what an indigenous person has? Should you be entitled to crown land as well? Anyway, we'll have a discussion one day, I'm sure.
Well, let's talk about it. Like I said to you, I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Let's talk about it. I indicated that I'd like to see you in the studio, in the house with me sometime next week or whatever the case may be. We'll talk about that and see when the best time for you to be able to do that. Guys, in the studio with me is a person who sat with me on one of my last shows. over at the other space. And I consider him my spiritual advisor. He's my very good friend, none other than Ambassador Devin Rowe. My brother, you are here with us. I was hoping that you'd give me more time.
I am so sorry for getting here late. There's a whole lot going on.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Dealing with the passing of a dear friend and everything that's connected to that.
That's Big Bro.
Yeah, Big Bro.
Tell everybody.
Regrettably, dear friend Clifford Big Bro Riley passed away yesterday. He was a music enthusiast in the country. Before Salvation, he was in this group called Black Juice. That was a hip-hop rap group. It was very, very popular. They actually opened way back in the day for Biggie Small when he came to the country. And that kind of platformed them for some huge opportunities internationally. And then he kind of hit rock bottom in life. Said he heard me on the radio, the power of radio. He heard me on the radio talking about Christ and life and purpose. And he said it kind of saved him because he felt like he was just losing it. And then eventually he found me and connected with us in ministry. He sang with my group, the Barack Movement, for a while. And then kind of branched off.
What's the group called? Barack Movement?
The Barack Movement. Yeah.
Give me one song that I should know.
That you might know?
Sing Hallelujah.
People internationally confuse us with them, not
Okay,
them.
good.
We had a song called Nothing But Mercy. We had a song called Not For Sale. Giving You All Praise. If you hear it, you probably know it. When the group originally came out,
send the CD so I can play some.
Okay, look, we'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah. When we originally came out, the song was playing on all stations, gospels and secular stations, so it was pretty popular. And well, he did some big things on his own. He had this song. I think the most popular one is this song called "Yes, I Have a Dream," and just yesterday, just passed away. It's the frailty of life.
It was any illness, or did he have any issues prior to that? Because it's a hard blow when people say you just drop down.
But the thing is, and that's happening so much because he passed away 24 hours ago. Pastor Ellis Pete.
So you need to calm down. You need to calm down right now. That's happening so much.
Well, it's. I got to be careful how you say it.
Praise God.
There are a lot of people.
Let's be careful.
There are a lot of people that are suddenly dropping down who seem to be healthy the hour before, and then all of a sudden they're gone. Pastor Ellis Pete passed away as well.
I saw that.
The administrators from Temple Christian. One of my members who works with him said he was talking to him that day and he looked quite fine, and then he just suddenly transitioned. But it's a reminder that life is frail, and is in a moment we're here, in a moment we're not. So it's important, and I said this as a minister, it's important to live every day ready to leave. That's the high point that I must give as an encouragement in this. Live on purpose. Stop putting things off for tomorrow when you should do it today. Make sure your heart is in right alignment with God so that death is not a factor. Scripture says to die is gain. If I live for Christ. If I die, I receive my reward. So whether I live or die is a win-win situation. So that's the high point I put on it. Get in right alignment with God and live on purpose now.
Yeah, so it's a sad thing to see that. Because I read that. I read a couple of persons have passed away, and I saw that and whatnot. So that's a very sad thing. And we continue to be able to, with the hearts of the bereaved family and whatnot, we continue to be able to pray for you and pray your mercies in God, your strength in God.
Amen.
And you find yourself in the position where you understand that this transition don't mean done.
Right.
But you still have a responsibility to be able to kind of live on.
Yes.
In faith.
Indeed.
And do what you're supposed to do.
Indeed.
My brother, glad that you're here with us. Tell, if you had given me more time.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this to you today.
That's good. That's all right. That's all right.
If you had given me just a pinch more time, I'd like to hear about what was happening when you were in South Carolina.
Well, I mean, listen, let me first of all say that this studio is incredible. It's beautiful. This is top of the line.
You ain't saying nothing yet.
I didn't even know this existed. So let me compliment you for the choice of locale and also to the ownership here. This is incredible. But yeah, South Carolina happened.
I wanted to be with you so bad.
I wanted you to be there.
Listen to me. I thought I was going on vacation. They said, goodbye, Bonnie, right?
I'm still looking back at it and saying, wow, to myself, because we had almost 50 Bahamians there. We had folks who drove down from North Carolina. One of my speakers came in from Orlando, Florida, and then, of course, the locals there in South Carolina. It was an incredible experience. I'm talking about now. The theme of it was Kingdom Now, and the whole notion of let's get rid of this delayed movement in terms of what we're called to do in life. We need to make some things happen now. The world is changing quickly. I mean, it's not just in the Bahamas, all over the world. Giants of yesterday are passing away. So there's a passing of batons in all disciplines, in politics, in business, in the faith circles, and then also to those listening, in your families. When Big Mama passes away, another level of responsibility comes upon you to do what is necessary to keep the family together and keep the family moving in a positive direction. The late, great Dr. Miles always would say that the only thing constant in life is change. And I think those who are cutting edge in terms of wisdom seek to try to get ahead of change in terms of preparation, in terms of diversifying skills, in terms of study. And this is where we're at in life. And there's a lot of changes going on in the Bahamas as I'm listening to the news and reading the headlines.
This is a representation of the change that's happening in the Bahamas.
Well, this is true. We're in it. We're in that change.
Thing, yes. Don't allow change to cause you to drop down dead.
No.
Don't allow change to, I don't mean actually or literally. I mean in terms of your passion and your push, your drive, and the fulfillment of the purpose that you've been called to in your life.
Yes.
Don't allow this shifting. And I told you before you came on, I told him, I said, listen, I could have never imagined not living in Grand Bahama. I could have never imagined. Listen to me. My cousin who listening right now from California.
Grand Bahamians don't like Nassau.
Right?
Not to live. Y'all visit and be right out the next flight.
My cousin who he's in California right now. He watch me all the time, right? Shouts out to my cousin, right? He left to go to school to play basketball in Nebraska.
Right. Oh, wow, Nebraska. That's where my son is, by the way.
Right, Nebraska, right? He left to play basketball in Nebraska. He told me that, and listen, every day I was watching college basketball. I thought I was going to see him one day, right? No, because he's that good. Right. And we saw that, but things happen in life.
Yes.
Nonetheless, he's in California right now. And I don't know whether or not he ever imagined himself living abroad.
Wow.
Right? I don't know that. We were so content in our environment and so fulfilled as a family. We love each other.
Yes.
We love each other.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if we fight, we love each other.
Yeah.
We could fight among us, but you don't bother with us.
Don't step in there.
Oh, God. You don't bother with us.
Right.
It's a problem for you.
Yep.
And everybody is a problem. So he's living off. I'm no longer living in Grand Bahama. I'm here in Nassau. My brother, the one right after me, he's here in Nassau. The one right behind him, he's in Turks and Caicos. Nobody home.
Wow. Change.
We could not imagine ourselves being in these particular spaces. But everyone is thriving in their own, including my cousin in the States.
Right.
Everyone is thriving in their own capacity and in their own way. And so change is inevitable.
Right.
The only constant, like you said, is change.
Yeah.
But you don't allow yourself to be crippled by the comfort and content of your environment and the idea that this is going to be a constant and stop you from pushing and fulfilling that purpose and passion that you have inside of you. I ain't gonna fall down and dead because the fellas say, "Well, Howard,
no,
this is the end."
But do you believe that there's a scripture that says, if your strength or if your faith faileth in the hour of adversity, your faith or your strength is too low?
You never had it.
Yeah. So
if it's superficial.
Yeah, adversity is meant to strengthen us and also to showcase our strength. Trials and tribulations come what? Only but for to make us stronger. And so you don't crash. People were shocked, and they're still shocked I was away for 3 weeks. Went to Jamaica, then went to take my son to school in Nebraska, then went straight across from Nebraska, stopped in Dallas for a few moments, and then flew to South Carolina. The entire time, I was sick and didn't know what was going on to me. And people said that even yesterday, they're like, we couldn't tell. I said, because I was determined to finish my assignment. I guess that's a plug for being assignment-driven and assignment-focused, too. And I think of, this is not a spirituality show today, but I think of the Apostle Paul when he's going on the way to Rome.
What you mean? Anytime you come, it's a spirituality show.
He's on the way to Rome, and all sorts of adversities happen. Shipwreck, deadly snake bites him, and Paul is just shaking stuff off and continuing to go forward. And they're looking at him like, this man must be a god. He said, no. I have an assignment to Rome. I can't die before I get to my assignment and finish it. And so that needs to be our mentality with our lives. And when you live like that, you become bigger than your title. You become bigger than your location. You become bigger than your job. There are too many people, they think they're big, but they're weak because your whole life revolves around how people see you or your title or your position. And so when you lose it, it's like you have no purpose for living. Come on. I think we need to live bigger than that.
I thought about things like this over the past few weeks. And I have a lot of persons who call me and encourage me, and a lot of persons who would say, oh, Howard, And these people just encourage me with their discouragement.
Okay. As funny as that is, I understand that.
Child, I didn't dare when this thing happened to me. God, I thought it was going to be over, Howard. God could do it, Howard. God.
Indeed.
It's kind of,
don't let go.
Don't let go, baby. Hold on. God is able. Yes, and then they call me every so often. You okay, baby? Yeah. I'm not dead. I'm here. I'm good. Yeah. Now, I say that to say this position, for those who are watching, and I'm not talking about for those who are observing, this is a different thing. For those who are watching, right? Because the observation could be very superficial, right? You just pass and go, oh, okay, you got it and go. But for those who are watching, right, and who watch with interest, I'm hoping that this encourages them to step up their game.
Indeed.
I'm hoping that this encourages them to step up their game.
Indeed.
And you have no idea what's on the horizon. I told you about the Realigner newspaper. The Realigner newspaper that's going to be coming out this month. We're going to be able to distribute those and whatnot. And guys, if you have a space that you want to be able to hold 50 newspapers, you can have it for the month, right? And you distribute those particular papers. You can be able to do that. The paper should be $1. We'll discuss how much we leave with you or whatever the case may be. But I want you to help me out. I want you to be able to be a distributor for me. If you want to do that, please give me a call, 827-0111. And let me know that you're interested in being able to hold a few of those newspapers for distribution, right? You come right here to me and on a day-to-day basis, because we're going to be live every day. Don't worry, but if I have low numbers now, trust me, when people know that we here every day, they come in. And they depend upon 12 o'clock, Howard here every day, I know they can come, all right? So we ain't worrying about that. But for you to be able to jump ahead of that particular curve, we'll say distribution is going to be here. Distribution, Peter Roker just said he's going to be able to take some of the papers yesterday. So distribution at Peter Roker's, distribution at Garden of Eden. We're trying to be able to get distribution at AFS. We're looking at distribution at all these particular spaces. So wherever you are, if you want to be able to distribute for us, we can do that. And it can be a form of advertisement for you also, because we're going to be talking about that here also. So I'm saying that to say to you that I'm hoping that this position that we've taken, this determination, we are building an empire. And it's not only me, it ain't Howard. I want you to see, you can see my big red face. But there is a team.
Yeah.
Amen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
This is a part of my team. This is a part of my team.
Indeed.
All right? There is a team behind me that's helping me push. And there's some people that you ain't gonna never see who come to me and come to my house and say, Howard, I believe in you. I believe in the vision that God has given you. How can I help? There's a team behind me. And I hope to God that you understand that purpose is not going to die because somebody who working for somebody else who had a vision to work for somebody else say you can't be to that place no more. You got something that God has placed in you deep. It's time to trouble the water and get that thing out. That's all this is.
Yep.
And sometimes you just need to see someone, oh my God, if Howard could do it, I could do it. Yeah, a lot of persons have been, they got some passion. They wanted to do this and that for a long time. And they figure they start on this small little level. This is not 1960s or the 50s or the 70s. You have the whole internet to yourself.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Structure the thing with professionalism. Structure the thing with professionalism. And let's be able to do that and be able to get these particular things done. So you're going to see the realigner come out. You're going to see all these particular things done. Don't worry about that. When you see Foundation TV, oh God.
Powerful.
On Roku and on Fire Stick and all these things like that, we can do this. You think I need somebody else to tell me? Sometimes you just get comfortable and content, you know.
Except the seed fall to the ground and die. It abided alone.
Okay, praise God.
But if it goes and endures the death process, what happens? It brings forth and it multiplies. We're in a pivotal season of great opportunity in our country. The era of nationalism brought about through the Lyndon Pinland era. We saw that transition move into the political hands of his sons. And by his sons, I'm talking about Christie Ingram. And then we saw just the offshoot into, I would say, friends of his sons in Christie, in Minnis and Davis. Even from the political standpoint, our country is at a pivotal crossroad. And it's bigger than partisan politics. Let me say it that way, because when, as a student of political science, it was huge for us in our first set of lessons that we had in university to make a distinction between the idea of partisan politics and political systems itself. So when you talk about politics or political systems, you're talking about the engine that kind of leads your country into different eras and seasons. And we are at a crossroad now. The politicians who have led us for the last 20, 30 years are in their twilight years, high 60s.
I don't think some of them know, though.
Into 70s.
I don't think some of them know.
If they don't know, it's dangerous.
You know who I blame? You know I blame? Watch me.
Go ahead.
This is the internet, so
go
we
ahead.
can do this.
Go ahead.
You know who I blame or what I blame for the idea that there was one time ago that men understood their age. They could feel their vitality slipping, and they understood the importance of being able to give this knowledge to our next generation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could feel themselves. They say,
Yeah.
you know what, I'm getting a little older now.
Yeah.
I got to make sure I got to find somebody
But
to pour this thing into.
This the ever young age. You know, ain't nobody feeling they old anymore.
Because of Viagra.
I know you was going there. Why did I know you were going there?
Viagra lying to you, old man. You're lying. But baby, you know, you don't got nothing. You need to stop. Sit down there and do the right thing.
I just knew you were going there.
This Viagra is a liar. And Cialis is a liar. And all these things from the gas station would got Viagra and Cialis in it. It can kill you before time.
I started to believe you bring me in so you can let out your comedic side. You let me take the serious road.
He's my guy. He's my guy. This is Viagra.
But before I come, you be all serious. Yeah. So, but we are at that critical transition point, and the birthing of leadership is needed. And leadership, what I think me and Howard are destined to help do in our country is to make sure that a generation of leaders with character emerges out of the ashes of the transition.
That's it.
Leadership founded upon character.
I promise you.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think so.
Because the next thing from here is training, and we didn't talk about that.
Of course.
We training you, baby.
Of course.
We can train you. First
course.
thing I can tell you, no stew fish in the reception area, eh?
Right.
I don't know why when I come in the reception area and here, what the hell is this? What is it here? No, I had some stew fish last night. You need to stop it. Stop your foolishness. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I want to be able to talk about that and talk about these things, and I'm grateful and always grateful to be able to have you with me to talk about those things, and I'm glad to hear what was happening in South Carolina last year. I want to do a documentary. I told you that. I wanted to be able to do a documentary for some stuff that's happening down there, and for the Gullah Geechee, right? The Gullah Geechee and the relationship that exists in the Bahamas and whatnot.
They so want to connect with us.
They'll be like,
they just need a bridge. I think we're starting to form that bridge.
I can find them. Listen, you don't know if this is CNN or not, because time as I then call them on this thing here, and you can see them live.
True.
You don't know if they're here.
True.
We can have a good listen.
True.
I try to encourage some people to do this in other spaces and places. Can I get an amen? I can't get an amen, Jesus.
Go ahead.
But this wasn't for them. They seen what has been set aside. But I'm glad you guys are participating with us and being able to do these things. You got to be a frequent now.
By God's grace, yes, sir.
You got to You got to come with me frequently.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be here every day.
Right.
I know you're busy.
But freaking.
Yeah, because, you was my spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir.
You got to be able to keep me on course, because sometimes, you did well. You did well the day before they let me go. Because I was slipping into darkness. And I was going to say some things I shouldn't have said.
You know what? I'm glad you called me in. I'm glad. I had no idea.
I thought it was a great show, though.
I thought it was too. I thought it was, especially now that I look back, considering what the temperature was. Wow.
I didn't know it was in that deep of the Fahrenheit. It was triple digits, quadruple digits Fahrenheit. I didn't know that.
I didn't know either.
I didn't know that. But I'm grateful. And you know what? Like I said to you, many people don't know this, but you know that I've been working on some things for a long time. You know that. I would have let you know some stuff. I would have carried you over to my studio and other things like that.
Right.
And I was working on some things for a long time. But as soon as we got our incorporation, the week we get our incorporation, the week we get our certificate of incumbency, the week we get all of our license for certain things, the week that happened is the week they let me go.
Wow.
So it ain't had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
It was a divine thing, because I had already made up my mind in this kind of a contentment that I would stay here and pinch when there is a work to be done.
Right. And
you got to be able to full speed immerse yourself in the work that you were called to do.
Things that did happen, and people still don't believe in divine providence. I don't know how. The week, everything is in alignment.
The week.
Yeah.
Listen to me. The day the lady called me, the next day I was gone.
Wow.
She said, Mr. Grant, I'm just calling to let you know that you got the certificate of incumbency. You got the. So I said, excellent. She sent all the stuff to me. Bang-a-lang.
Oh, I think the correct response to that is to God be the glory. To God be the glory, yeah.
God is good.
Steps are ordered.
I want you guys to, and I want to be able to let you know this. I'm looking for freelance journalists. I'm looking for freelance social media journalists. If you are in this kind of position and you desire to be able to get on television, or you want to be able to do something, maybe you have the raw talent, maybe you don't know how to be able to do that. If you're teachable, trainable, coachable, if you're open to being able to learn about these things and prepare yourself to move to the next level, I'd love you to give me a call. I'd love you to be able to hear. I want to hear more about what you do and what you don't do. If you're in audio, if you want to be one of my a part of my street team, because we're doing all these things. I'm telling you, watch me from right here. Watch me. We can change media in this country, and we can realign it to the space of righteousness and not this salacious foolishness and this sort of an idea of just being able to talk about everybody and everything. Get back to where we're supposed to be.
There's a scripture that says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And just as you were talking this out, I think we may have incorrectly limited that only to government spaces in terms of governing. But wherever the righteous are in authority, the people will rejoice.
Wherever it is.
Yeah. In any discipline.
Whatever it is.
Yes, sir.
Because there's no rejoicing over media. There's no rejoicing in the media space, far and wide, and this is no, I don't seek to knock any of these media houses, but there's no rejoicing. There is sort of this contentment. Okay, yeah, well, they do this. Okay, yeah, this one have a better show than that. But there's no, wow, I know we could get transparency from a Tucker Carlson, right? Like if you were to Tucker Carlson, right? Yeah. I know we could get transparency from this particular person. I know that this person don't have any affiliation. I know that this housing or this organization doesn't do that. There isn't this kind of a celebration that exists in our society. There is this, well, I guess, what you could do. That's sort of the posture that
yeah.
But what you could do, Howard, sometimes you got to hold your mouth.
Yeah.
That's what they're telling you.
I think that's in many disciplines in this country. It is what it is. It's the mentality. And then again, because there are so many people unwilling to die the necessary death to bring forth new. So I don't try to be a visionary.
Unwilling to die is crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's sacrifice.
Indeed. That's what it is.
There's no person's willing to, especially in the economic climate that we're in right now, nobody wants sacrifice. Like I told you, I if it was not for divine alignment and me being able to say, Lord, let your will be done, let your kingdom come, I still wouldn't be here.
Right.
I don't think any of us would be here. Would you be here?
Nope. Definitely not.
No, we are human beings.
Yeah.
Our flesh, for the most part, if we continue to be able to follow that, we'll never fulfill the purpose that God has called us to. So this is where I am.
Yeah.
This is where I am.
Yeah.
With transparency. And like I said to you, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, right, it may not necessarily be now. Maybe some things are murky for you right now. Maybe you don't understand this. Maybe you don't have that kind of a faith to be able to step over. But we can be right here. And if you want to be able to join our team as a volunteer, because listen, we feeding people. Yeah, man, I can be dead one day, but I got to be able to leave it, put it all here. We can be feeding people. We've done that already with the foundation. I'm over at the other space. We've done that with Help Me Howard. We're going to be continuing to feed people. We're going to be forging relationships with organizations. We're going to be training persons. We're looking for a facility to be able to house these spaces to train people and prepare them to be able to step in one effort or another. And hopefully we could be able to get someone to help us to be able to do some Bible study.
I like it.
I just want to do
that. I like it.
Bible study, because there's a lot of persons who want to be able to learn about faith and learn about the next steps that we have to take in our lives and whatnot. There's some things that, and I want to thank all those persons who've been calling me and say, Howard, how can I sponsor? Howard, how can I sponsor? I will bring the sponsorship list and put it on the screen. Bang. So you could be able to see that, and you can also call me 827-0111. Only reason I do it yet is because I put the numbers together, but my graphic artist has not been able to put it together for me just yet. So I'm going to send it over to my graphic artist, and she's going to construct it accordingly for me. But I'm excited about the next dispensation, my brother.
I am too. I'm excited with anticipation of what's next. And I feel in so many ways that there's a big pause in terms of people like almost like a prayer. Lord, what's going to happen next? We're so used to what has been, but we can tell that there's a phasing out of the old and something.
If you're paying attention, there is a phasing out.
There is a phasing out, and it's,
but you know something, and I can end it like this. It's nothing like when those who are sharp enough and in tune with our faith, with God, to understand that something else is coming. It's nothing like that. But they could look back, and despite the phasing out, the apparent, undeniable phasing out of the things of old.
Right.
There are some people that are clinging so hard to that. My God, they're getting down with the ship. I'm talking about organizations. I'm talking about individuals. I'm talking about a lack of vision. I'm talking about all these things that you don't understand, that you got to prepare for the next dispensation of the Bahama land. It is upon us now. And just like the 180, we've gone all around the mulberry bush. We've done all these things. We've gone whoring after other gods and doing everything else. And we got to come back home.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
But if you don't understand that it's time to come back home, my God, when the ark door shut.
Yeah.
I just get preachy. I got to calm down.
Yeah, no, I got you. When it's shut, it's too late. It's too late. But international corporations, non-governmental organizations, and this new wave of tech giants have been forecasting this need for change, for quite a while. You've seen all of these big companies that close down and merge with other companies. You see now that in terms of the tech revolution, there's so many of them. This is insane to think about this. There are so many individuals who now are worth more than entire countries.
Big time.
Yep. So it's happening, and pivots are necessary. And I think what's happening with yourself now, Howard, is an example, like you said earlier, to so many others of the kind of mindset you need to have and the willingness to shift when God says it's time to shift.
My brothers and sisters, it's 2 o'clock. We're going to be jamming with you from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock on a day-to-day basis right here. We're going to retain this space until you see us in a traditional space, inclusive of this space.
Yes.
I just want to be decent as I give you these interludes. I'm excited about what's happening, and we're going to do our part right where we are to be able to continue to make these things happen. My brother, Ambassador Devin Rose, sitting with me right here. Next week, we're going to be able to have an exciting show. I see some people calling me and saying, Howard, I'm interested in coming to sit with you. Yeah, if you want to do that, please hit me up, 827-0111. I got a private line. I ain't going to put it out here. But if you give me a call, 827-0111, we can be able to structure it accordingly, and you can be able to sit here. Now, you got to be able, like I said, you don't be no stranger.
Right. I hear the call. I hear the call.
Don't be no stranger. I know that a lot of times I like to be able to punctuate what we're saying from a political standpoint, punctuate what we're saying from a superficial, surface, social standpoint, and pull it through our faith and convictions and the anchor that exists in these particular spaces. So I got to be able to call my guy.
One of the things I love about you, there are a few who have the ability to put it all together the way you do, Howard.
God is good.
Yes, sir.
Praise God. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see you next week. God spare our lives. We're off on Sunday and Sunday. All right? Don't fight me. Oh, how are we on Saturday? We're not here. So on Monday, God spare our lives, we'll be right here on the foundation live with you, jamming. Ambassador Devin Road, I want to thank you so much.
Sir.
And I thank you, family, for letting you being able to do here. Condolences to those persons who've transitioned and gone off to the other side. And I pray your strength in the Lord, all those who stayed behind to be able to do what you have to be able to do. See you on Monday, God spare our lives, right here on the foundation.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.